If you are a teacher and you would like to have your own profile, your own account on the nature of writing, then just contact us, send us an email, and we can create a free profile for you. Now, I'd like to just run through what that looks like in this video and show you some of the advantages of having a teacher profile. This is kind of your profile page, and I've just called this Test Instructor. You've got a bunch of options here to make this page your own. So if you click on the cog, you can edit your profile, which basically means changing the picture. This is sort of a default avatar. You can go to my account to change your password, and you can also log out if you want. We'll get to group management here in a moment, but scrolling down you can see all the subjects that you are enrolled in, and just like any student who pays for access, you have access to all the different subjects that we provide. So that would be parts of speech, sentence structure, all the main parts of our writing guide, and then also various other subjects that we keep adding to all the time. Now, as you can see, you can now track your progress. So you can see that we've started sentence structure, and as we open it up, we can see how we actually did on various quizzes as well. So in this case, we've done one quiz. If we were to go to the lesson on sentence structure, or the lessons, I should say, now we can track our progress easily. We can expand this. The check mark shows us that we've done this one. The green color here shows us that we've also done the first quiz. And at the bottom of each lesson, you can mark it complete, and that will automatically take you to the next lesson as well. So let's go back to our profile. There we are. And just skipping all the way to the bottom of our profile, there's one more thing here. There's an option to join a class. This is primarily for students, obviously, although as a group leader or an instructor, you can join in other classes as well, if you wanted to sit in, I suppose. And the way this works is that we generate a code for every class. We will provide this to the instructor. The instructor can pass the code on to the students, and the students simply enter the code here, and then they are automatically enrolled in the class. And that allows the instructor to see student progress and student results. So that part is very, very easy. Okay, jumping back to the top here, the last thing I want to talk about is group management. And if your students are in a group with you, then you can see how they are doing. Okay, so we have the group here. If we are in multiple groups, we can see that here as well, which means that you can kind of separate your courses this way. We have a bunch of options here. So first of all, enrolled users tells us how many people are in the class. And if we find that we have too many people or not enough seats, there is the option to delete students. So if the wrong student enrolls for some reason or leaves the class, you can click on the student and remove the user just from your group, not from the entire website. You can also add new users, but the catch here is that you can only add existing users who are already registered on the website. So if you invite somebody who's not, then no email will actually be sent. And I would suggest that you simply use the code. This is sort of unnecessary, but in some rare situations you may want to add somebody manually. Then the last thing here is reports. And if we go here, we have different reports that we can access. The quiz one is probably the most useful, and this allows us to see exactly how particular students are doing. So let's just select one class. We're going to select a subject, in this case parts of speech, and the quiz, let's select pronoun identification quiz 1. Now we can see how the various students and even the teacher did on the quiz, and you can see that the sample student here has taken it twice. You can also drill down and see in much more detail how this particular student did on various questions. Okay, so you can even kind of see at the level of the answer how they answered. I think that's tremendously useful. and it allows you that kind of granular control to be able to really chart how your students are performing in the course. Now, the quizzes on the whole are meant not for testing purposes so much as for practice. So that's how I would advise that you use them, that you don't just assign them as a form of testing, but that you use them to let the students work away at it and improve their writing skills. One last thing before we end very quickly, there is a quiz archive at the top here which will show up if you are an instructor, if you're logged in as an instructor, and that gives you printable quizzes. So if you need to print something out instead of having it in digital format, you can do that there. We'll see what we do with the quiz archive, because it is possible in the future that we may make some quizzes only accessible to enrolled users. All the lessons will remain open access, but some of the quizzes we may close off if we have too much traffic on the site. So that's just something to be aware of. Hopefully that gives you a really great sense of what it looks like to be an instructor on the Nature of Writing website. And again, if you're interested, just send us an email, natureofwriting@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to set something up for you.